And we're live.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the fun!
Yeah, to the sick fun. As we are all remoting for, what do we got? We got cold, the flu, COVID, allergies. I think
2,000 miles.
2,000 miles, and I think
That
Ryan
is
stubbed his toe. I don't know.
No, I don't want to get your sickness.
His immune system's already weak, guys. We can't do it to
Yeah. But before I choke on it, yeah, only a month late, because I got sick on my freaking birthday, and
it was your birthday, wasn't it?
yeah,
Oh, no.
Black Friday was my birthday. It was awful. Happy freaking birthday to me.
Happy birthday!
And yeah, I felt bad for canceling that, but it was not a fun week for me. I ended up like calling out for the rest of that week. I didn't go back to work until last Friday. But so I know it's been a while, but what do we remember?
I remember last session we just finished the Colosseum. There were some guys who ran down to mug us or whatever and absolutely trashed them. They were of the Fetid Fiends?
Farid.
Farid Fiends.
Yeah.
And yes, we trashed them.
Yeah.
And then the Colosseum guards were like so confused as to what to do. How about you deal with them like you deal with every other? What are you talking about? You turn them over, or you do what you do with someone else who breaks the laws in your
You
Colosseum.
either turn them in or make them disappear.
Well, yeah, so like what it was that they're guards of the pit. Like they don't actually work for Altanova. They work for Niobe. So in that situation, you just handle them like a normal person would handle any other thug. Beat the shit out of them. And you guys did that for them. They're like, what's next?
And then we kind of just chilled, right? We did some errands.
We went to your temple.
We saw
Right.
Ethel. Like, that was kind of a big one.
Oh yeah, we talked to Ethel and she told us some things.
And I have confirmed she is not a vampire.
Accurate.
Good
And
company.
I have confirmed that she is a major hottie.
Oh yeah, the witch old hag was a disguise because she's actually where is my
Blonde, long
notes?
legs, tall.
She's like platinum blonde, or at least it could have been just another disguise that. But
No,
when
she
she
could have
left the
been
temple, she was platinum blonde. She was wearing plate mail with vines engraved on it, and she was suddenly significantly, like not like giant sized, but she was. Maybe it's because she was standing up straight. Yeah, she was taller by means.
Yeah, no, she was just like average, elven woman height, which is a lot taller than shriveled hag.
So like 5'11".
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, you guys basically had your little powwow that like since Hawk and Dirk had gotten away, she didn't have any more leads regarding the vampires. You guys were kind of working together to try to figure out what was the next plan, how to move forward, find any more vampires, or to help more people. You guys convinced her she's gonna work her way to Calpheon to speak with the heir of Glavendor to see about like reuniting Mittalon.
trying to bring back the council.
Yeah.
The horn is calling. Who will answer?
And then Connor went and talked with Doran, got himself a set of magical plate armor.
Yeah, we went to the temple and learned more stuff about the bag. He told me I had stuff in there, and I was like, I didn't know. And had
Yep.
letters and
Wasn't it
there's
like
no
a
notification
spell?
system. Yeah, I don't get, there's no phone buzz, there's no ringtone of you got a message. Like I just have to keep looking in there every now and then. Yeah. What else happened?
Maybe that's one of the things that Manny can do for you guys.
Did I get plate mail? Or was he making plate mail for
Like
me?
bell for the
He-
bag or something like
he gave
what's,
you-
Cedric has?
He gave you plate mail that didn't make any noise.
Oh yeah, you have stealth mail.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
muffled plate.
He basically said he couldn't use this; it wouldn't melt down, and he gave it to you.
Right. Is that
I don't know
should
if
I
it's an
just
actual
add
item.
in should I just
So
add
it's
in plate
also
mail?
heat resistant.
Yeah, that's fine.
Um
It's not that it's heat
and I'll-
resistant; it's that magical items cannot be destroyed easily.
Fair enough. The other thing that we did find out is, what Ethel was telling us is that, where did it go? Hawkendirk was a good friend of Marcus, Mittalon, and Nox,
Yeah.
the builder.
Yep.
And they were all obsessed with golems,
Yep.
or golems, or whatever you want to call them.
You just sparked one of my theories up. Technically, we don't know this.
And where did I see?
I'm confused. The barbarian just whipped out a guitar.
That's his
I'm
mighty axe.
teaching him slowly but surely. He's getting it. All right.
I'm multitasking and I'm stringing my guitar.
Dandy's teaching him how to properly be a good instrument user.
You should probably teach him on the bass. It's not going to break so easily.
And the barbarian takes out his axe.
Nice.
Were you trying to find something else? Sorry.
Yeah, there was a note that I had from Ethel. That it just. She was telling us that Marcus was a good human when he was alive.
Yeah.
Like, nobody. There was no, like, inherent evil to him.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I mean, there
Just
were...
an unbound curiosity.
Yeah. Which is dangerous in its own right.
Yeah.
Okay. So after you guys' talks with Ethel, and she hustled her way out, and Connor got himself his armor, you guys went to the was it the Wild Rock Inn? You guys stocked up on some provisions, got a whole bunch of like scrap meat and good food to fill up your bag of colding.
You're welcome.
And I think you guys all went to take your long rest.
Get that done.
Does that sound right to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
I
also
wouldn't
ordered
want to start
some
journey
shit.
now without a long rest.
A lot of people just talked at the same time. What was that?
Yes.
Okay.
I was gonna say that. Sorry, I ordered some ship weave too. So
Yes, you did. and
Oh, yeah.
Get
you
your
didn't
drugs.
fill all of the spots. I think you had 1 or 2 left. 1 left. Okay.
Yeah, there was one spot open because I couldn't decide what to do for it. So
Right.
Oh yeah, and I scared the mage by asking if he can give me a gem with power word killing it.
I'll bet. Yeah,
Do
he
you
told
have a gun? Essentially, is what they asked him.
he told you that he's made a gem before with that spell in it, but it costed the heart of a dragon.
Yeah. And did I switch that up instead of getting that? I got a. Was it a counter spell?
Possibly. Honestly, I'll have to go back and refresh. I've been rather lazy.
It has been a month.
Yeah, and I've been rather lazy about going back through my notes. So we'll just say yes for now that you have a counter spell.
One gem.
Yeah. And it'll just be like once per long rest, so once per day. And I'll go back over it hopefully before our next session, and if I'm incorrect, then we'll fix it
All right.
to whatever you did buy or I had told you originally.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and then at the end of the session, we didn't roleplay this, but I went and picked up finally the necklace of immovable object.
Oh yeah.
So. And then, just as I've been reviewing my notes, we also got some interesting some weird information about the attacks that started the wars.
The Titans.
Yeah, the Titans and everybody else. Like the Titans that I think it was Ethel. I know Ethel was the one telling us this, so I'm assuming she was the one that talked to them. But like the Titans weren't in the right army or right mind when they attacked. Like something was controlling them or like telling them to do it. And then they, for the most part, seemed ashamed, I think is what she was telling us, that they did attack.
And then just left.
Or that they rampaged or whatever.
Mhm.
And the Titans stopped attacking just kind of random after 24 hours.
Yeah. It was almost like they had just lost control of their consciousness. The whole day was a blank, but they were, told what had happened and they couldn't explain it. Okay. Well, without further ado, let's get back into it. So you guys take your long rest at the Wild Rock Inn. Revelors, like usual, the first to wake. Anything you'd like to do?
Let me check. I think I've already scribed all my scrolls into spells at this point, but I just want to double check.
Okay. Oh, and another thing that happened was that you guys had talked with Cedric about setting up a teleportation to get you guys to Duvenkrin for the day that just started.
So yeah, I don't think I need to do anything extra special with my morning at this point.
Okay.
We decided to go after Sue's family first and try and end the war in the Elven Kingdom, right?
To my understanding, of course.
Yes, because we have the heir apparent of the Elven Kingdom here in our party.
The rightful heir to the throne.
It's
So
just gonna be like this. That's just gonna be me standing there going, "Hello, everyone."
Hello. Alright.
so after a few hours, the rest of you guys wake up. Anything you guys would like to do before you guys set out for the day?
Well, I got all the food supplies. I'm gonna be our chef for this adventure. Before we even go to the teleportation, I want to wait for the group of us to get together first.
Right. The bar had prepared you guys some breakfast, just some, normal meat, eggs, breakfast beer, whatever have you. And let you guys discuss amongst yourselves your plans.
Morning, everyone. Morning.
Mm.
Revlor, do you ever actually choose to sleep in?
Interesting question. I have tried it before, but I mean, really, it just amounts to a little bit more meditation. So take that for what it is.
I think you need like to relax every now and then. Have an 8-hour rest every now and then. It's good. It'll be good for you.
I wonder what that would be like to relax.
Yeah, fair enough. So we're gonna be going in. I think the priority is like stopping the Elven Kingdom, or is it just finding Sue's family? And if we can stop the kingdom along the way, that's the plan.
I don't think we can stop a kingdom unless we can.
We have the prince.
We have the prince. Do we have any proof that Mittalon did all of this? We have a blueprint. Do we have anything else that would possibly convince? Because it's not just the prince that will decide things. There's a whole court or something, right? Nobles and other people that have sway and power.
Well, they have sway and power, probably, but at the same time, we don't have to get them on our side immediately. We just got to get them to, stop killing humans.
Just calm down.
Yeah, that's a good step one. Chill.
Well, then our two goals kind of don't work together. Then hitting Sue's family is covert. It's a secret. We go in, grab them, get out.
I know, that's what I'm saying, though. If we go in, we find them, are we prioritizing getting them out first, then doing the whole the prince is alive shtick, or are we just going straight for the prince is alive and Sue's family stay hidden until we finish this?
It seems to me that our first priority is getting Sue and her family out.
That's my first
And
priority, for sure.
we also need to see what the situation is before we can move forward. Is it even possible to change people's minds? Or is it something that we just need to save who we can and then abandon ship, come back later when we have more evidence, as Connor suggested?
That, and plus, there's no guarantee that people will like you. I mean,
Exactly, which is why we need to get a handle on what the situation is before we make any moves.
Right.
I imagine your newly acquired ability to disguise everyone might help us out in that fact a little bit. We may be able to do a little espionage, see what's going on.
Ring of Seeing. Yeah, I mean, my plan was for the non-elves, aka me, Creorn, and possibly Otar. No, Otar's a half-elven. He's fine. So yeah, me and...
So am I.
yeah, so you two... Is it just elves, or even high elves? I forgot. If it's not, like, if it's one of those, like, if you're not pure blood, then curse you. Or is it just elf? Is it acceptable?
I mean, half-elves have always been kind of frowned upon in general in the Elven Kingdom.
I'm just gonna make us all high elves, or whatever. That's my plan.
So you just pass around a bong.
Pass. I
The highest.
yeah, that's what I'm about. When we get there, because there is a time limit on this Ring of Seeming, I do believe. Seeming spell only gets me, like, what, 8 hours? Let me look this up real quick.
I don't remember.
Yeah, duration's 8 hours.
Okay.
So yeah, we do have a limited time on this, so we gotta, like, the moment before we teleport, and
Well, also, just keep in mind what Cedric was telling us is he has to write like a letter of introduction, basically. So it might not be in our best interest to change appearance before we go.
We are supposedly warping to a place that is safe. So it might be good to show up as ourselves first, and then. Although, I mean, we would have to. We should be able to get a message that it's still safe over there. So I guess the only reason to disguise ourselves beforehand is that we don't want Cedric's men knowing what we look like.
which then leads us to the question: do we want Cedric's men to know what we look like? Because the letter could be not specific of just saying six male individuals are going in to help, and then poof, or 5, and then the 5 of us just poof, we're there, 5 individuals here to help.
I don't know, Connor. What do you know about the rest of the church or group of the Helm? Are they?
It's your church.
Yeah, are they trustworthy? Should any input on this? Because I mean, you're
They're
gonna know more than
trustworthy.
we will.
You can trust them. I don't expect any of them to rat us out or betray us or anything. They're good people. If they take us there, they can bring us back.
I mean, we are kind of putting our lives in their hands one way or the other, so I don't see any reason why we need to necessarily disguise ourselves from them.
Alright.
Disguising ourselves once we get there is, possible.
That's just me throwing out ideas. If we want to go without it, let's go without it.
My other question is, do we know that teleport? I'm not familiar with it. Is teleportation instant, or is there like some time in limbo? Because if we were to disguise ourselves beforehand, would it burn time off of the 8 hours?
That's a really good question.
I'm not familiar with teleportation because yeah.
And from my understanding, it would depend on the way that we teleport as well, because there are types of teleportation that require you to teleport to a juncture and then teleport to where you're needing to go. And so that would also further increase time.
This got too complicated for me. I'll wait until we get there. I grab my second ale.
So you guys finish up your breakfasts, and are you guys heading straight to the church?
I mean, we don't have anything else. We did everything we wanted to do before, so yeah.
I was gonna say I am settled and ready.
Same.
Well, I'll swing by and pick up. I don't think I've actually picked up my shift leave, so I'll just swing by and pick it up on the way there.
Yeah, they like rushed ordered it so that you'd have it that night. Okay. So you guys make your way back to the Temple of the Helm. head up the the long brick stairs, and the door's unlocked and you guys can enter. There's a couple people in the stalls, and Cedric seems to be giving a bit of a sermon. But as he sees you guys walk in from the back, he kind of wraps up what he is saying and proceeds with letting Haley take over the sermon for a few while he walks off.
I do the slow, like, cautious enter through the door lining again, just to don't strike me. Walk in.
Cedric walks back to you guys. So, I suppose you guys are ready to leave?
Yeah, let's go, Padre. See what we got.
Connor rolls his shoulders in the new plate. Yeah. We're ready.
Alright, very well. He takes you guys back downstairs and into the room that three of you guys have seen before. Very dark, dank room that just has a couple of benches, a barrel that's got some water and like some empty food trays. And he opens the door for you guys, lets everyone in. He goes, well, this is fairly simple. I'm gonna start the incantation for you.
So we've had a question, Padre. Is there like a time dilation between teleportation?
Not as far as
Like-
I'm aware.
So like when we leave here, it'll still be the same time there, but we got there sooner. Right?
Kind of. So
So
you leave here. So if I were to send
We'll find out when we arrive.
here,
I mean,
well,
we just-
Connor, I can explain this to you better than your friend here. If I send you a letter through our magical means, you can find it within a few seconds.
right.
Now, if you were on the other side of Mittalon, it might be nighttime where it is daytime here.
Right. That's just how the sun works and
Right.
planet.
So, while your teleportation only takes a few seconds here, you may arrive there earlier or later in the day.
Right, but it's not actually any different of time. It's just that we're in a different spot.
Correct.
But we're just going south, right? That doesn't change what time is.
I
This has
don't.
become too complicated for me again. Dandy says again. Just this has become too complicated for me. Let's just
Cedric goes like, honestly, I don't know how this works.
send us on our way, Padre.
Magic.
I know how to make a teleportation circle. I don't understand the space-time continuum or daylight savings time.
There's a time continuum.
The answer is quite simple. It's solved through the string theory and the.
Whirlpool theory with string theory.
Otor's
I
like,
think the
"Everybody
answer
shut
is
up,
7.
Oh, okay.
So
I think the answer is 7.
So he kind of, using his foot, he kind of like brushes some dirt and dust off of a kind of like you see it's a painted circle on the ground that has a bunch of different like sigils, and he goes, "If you will, please step on that side of the line. Once I've started this, I cannot stop it. As I start it, the torchlights are going to turn on. Everything is okay, it is normal.
If you say so. Danny just cautiously, once again, just like the church, cautiously walks over the line.
Connor will walk over confidently and pat Danny on the shoulder. Like, it's fine. Don't worry. Just a little tingle. A
Oh, you
little
did this before.
whooshing.
I'll
No?
cross the line. Just step across and just kind of wait there.
I just nervously pet Chitu. Just nervously pet him.
At that point, Cedric reaches into his robe, and he pulls out a small book, and he starts chanting into a kind of an odd, weird. You don't know that it's actually a language, but he's just chanting these syllables in weird orders. And as he's chanting, the inside of the teleportation circle begins to glow and wrap around you guys. And then once it meets in the center, it goes out to the sigils. The sigils light up. And once all the sigils have lit up, the torchlights. I knew Josh would get that. The torchlights blast with a red flame, and like a deep crimson red. And then, as one last time after the sigils have lit up, the outer circle lights up, and you get a like a heavy burst of wind over your guys' bodies. You flinch, close your eyes, and you feel like your body is being stretched and pulled. Nothing painful, and you feel like you're falling.
The moment we get this feeling just before we go, it's like, well, beam us up, Hilliard! Just kidding.
And as quickly as it started, it ends. The wind goes away, and you slowly open your eyes, and you're in another dark room. The red torchlights fade away, and it's kind of cold in here.
I don't think that second nick was a good idea.
You okay?
We're dealing. How are you feeling, Otar? You had 2 ales.
Helps if I unmute.
It does.
Oh no, Otar forgot how to speak.
Otar,
Otar's tongue didn't make
Otar
the
feels fine. He's
teleportation.
digging through his bag, looking for perhaps another drink.
As the torchlights simmer down, they change from the red glow to a standard yellow fire. The room is almost identical to the room that you were in before. Cedric is no longer there. After
Did it work? Hello? Connor, did it work?
I think where we're supposed to be.
It looks the same. Wait, did your Padre teleport himself instead of us?
It's colder, isn't it?
I was gonna say, it doesn't feel the same as what we left.
It's probably just the same construction. Connor will step out of the circle and...
Oh.
Hello?
I'm going to step out and draw my bow because something doesn't seem right. Because Cedric was saying that he was going to let people know that we were coming. So you'd expect somebody would be there, and
moment
something's not feeling right.
Yeah, the
This
moment I see
also-
Creorn pull out his bow, I'm just gonna put my hand on my hilt, shields out, and have Chizu just be next to me.
I think one thing that we may have forgotten about was Helm is a human god. This close to elven territory, it may have been abandoned.
Then who was sending the refugees? Or refugees to Cedric?
Maybe it's not. I
The
don't know.
moment I hear Connor say it might be abandoned, I'm just gonna cast the Ring of Seeming now, and I'm gonna turn the 4 that aren't full elves into full elves.
Wait,
We all look like
Crap.
ourselves, but the pointy-eared structure and whatever features that resembles Revlor.
Okay, so who all are you using seeming on?
Me, Connor, Revlor, Otar. No, Creorn. Me, Connor, Creorn, Revlor. No, mother.
I was gonna say.
Who are you not using seeming on?
Revlor.
Okay.
And just for reference, I still have my hair darkened, just with prestidigitation. I've like kind of muddied it up.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go ahead, because I put my shift weave on before we left. I'm gonna go ahead and utter one of the command words, which anybody who I think who speaks Sylvan would understand it, and anybody who speaks Elvish might understand it. And it's basically just the Sylvan word for 3. I'm just gonna say Trace, and it's going to turn into just like some very common-looking adventuring clothes.
3? What?
that's a neat trick.
I imagine it's sort of like what Latin is to like maybe Spanish or
Fair enough.
So you guys.
or French, something like that. Like Sylvan's kind of the root language, so you might understand it if you understand Elvish.
Yeah, Dandy, once you said the number 3, Dandy actually said 3 in common.
So you watch as he says Trace, and almost like you know those like flip sequin like pillows and stuff like that. You rub it one
Yeah.
way, it's you watch as his clothes in one wave just and it goes into a different form, and it's more of a standard. Because he was wearing some fancy robes, weren't you, originally? Push
Real
the
quick,
Lost
talk.
your
can you
audio.
hear me?
Otar's back, but we lost the
Yeah, I can hear
audio. Now he's back.
Yeah,
Pretty
sorry,
sure
I
the answer was yes.
forgot to push to talk.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was wearing fancy clothes without wearing like just very common adventure clothes that you guys have probably seen before. It's just they just instantly changed.
That's 3. What's 2 and 1?
My other question was going to be, is it wise to disguise ourselves immediately just in case there are friendlies here? Now we all look like it.
Well, to be fair, we look like ourselves, but Elven.
There's probably someone here, just maybe 1 or 2 people. They're
Yeah, I didn't change any of the clothing, the armor, none of it. I just changed our ears and like facial, not features, but like structure, more elegant looking.
Yeah.
We look like an elegant elven part of ourselves. Full elf for you two.
Yeah, all right.
Connor isn't going to draw his weapons, but he's going to keep a hand on the hilt of his sword. And he's going to walk out and start taking a look around, looking for anybody or signs of people. Fire, food, things not as dusty as they maybe should be if the place was abandoned, etc.
I got
I'll
her.
be following and seeing if I recognize any of the area that we're in, since we should be in Dubin Crane.
I'm sorry, can you say that again, Grant?
Yeah, sorry, that was weird. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, Brina was talking to me. My attention was split.
Gotcha. Okay. I was just saying that I'm just following Connor, and I'm kind of trying to see if I recognize any of the area at all, because we should be in Dubin Crane.
Sure. Connor and Revlor, both of you go ahead and make a perception check.
Eight.
Okay.
I got +0 to perception. Not a wise boy.
+11 + 5 is 16.
So you open the door to go out into you look out and you see it's just a hallway, very similar to the one that was in Altanova. Looking down the hallway, you do see another doorway, and there seems to be some torchlight coming out of it. Revelor, as he opens the door and you kind of peeking around with him, you smell some food being cooked. You would imagine that it's pretty close. I'm not going to say you can't pinpoint it. You're in a small space. But you don't hear anyone. But
Is Dandy able to smell the food at this point?
Maybe.
I'll go ahead and peek my head out of the door with them.
Okay.
If I catch a whiff, I'm able to identify what type of meal is being cooked, whether it's more meat-based or...
Roll investigation. That's going to be an intelligence roll.
Cool, we're starting out strong. 9.
Smells like meat.
Well, they're carnivorous, wherever they are. That's a...
That's comforting.
Let me... I wanted to... Connor, this is your house. Do something with it.
Hmm?
Well, this is your temple, right?
Right.
Talk to your
Damien,
god or something.
I rolled a 10 for perception. Do I smell the food?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Otar's just gonna walk out there. He smells food.
Damn it. I'm gonna stealth behind as best I can.
Otar, you see something?
He just walks by. As he's going by you, he goes, food.
19
I
stealth.
guess I'm gonna follow the train. But...
Okay. Are you guys stealthing?
Me and Chitu are, at least.
I will stealth.
Okay.
Sure as hell not.
Alright.
No, I won't stealth.
Say, like,
But
I don't think you,
But
I don't think me or Connor were stealthing at all. We were kind of just exploring. Yeah.
yeah.
Just me and Creorn.
And I am not stealthing very well.
Oh no.
I mean, I rolled a 9 and I have a +6, so I rolled a 15 for stealth. So, whatever
Do you also
that
roll separate for Chitu as well, or does Chitu count as me? DM.
What was your... she too would have a different roll.
Okay. Roll for Chitu. Chitu, you'll be my obsidian dice. Which might not be terrible. Oh, cool. 16. He has a +8 to stealth. Nice.
Okay, she too got a 16. What did Dandy get?
19.
19, nice. Creorn's not doing a great job. No one
I
else
have.
was
I mean, my total was 15, so
total.
it's not
Oh.
terrible.
Oh, okay.
It's just not as good as normal.
Anyone else was
Yeah.
stealthing?
Nope, the other three just apparently walk right in.
Okay. So you guys leave the hallway, and you follow Otar and his nose, and kind of leads you up the hallway a little bit, and then straight to the right. You see there's another doorway with torchlight coming, and there it's a kitchen, and you don't see anyone in there yet, but there's food being cooked. It's not burning yet.
We don't see anybody around.
Not yet, no.
I'm gonna cantrip message Connor. You see anything?
Food being cooked.
Sausage.
Sausage.
Do yourself a favor and make yourself be known. If they come after you, me and Creon might do something.
Hello? Anyone here?
Huh? What?
I'm going to.
Hello?
Who's there?
My name's Connor.
Already?
And,
And you see a human walk from basically up from behind you guys. There's a average height, very standard looking brown haired human, no facial hair, clean shaven. Wow, there's a lot of people in my kitchen. Are you hungry?
we kind of just woke up and ate. But this guy, and I'll sort of point to Otar, I think he can always eat more.
It looks like it. Food's not ready yet, but, we weren't expecting you for a few more hours.
We kind of did all our business yesterday,
I
so we can...
see. Okay. Just right across the hallway here, he kind of steps back out because he can't get into his own kitchen right now, opens another doorway, and...
TM, as a question, sorry. Is he acknowledging that Connor's Elven?
Hasn't said anything. Connor's also wearing, Connor also wears...
Well, I'm wearing plate now, so I don't know if I would have that same chain hood anymore.
Oh, okay.
Would I have a metal helmet, or did it not come with a helmet?
It did not come with a helmet.
Okay, then I probably would still have
The chain hood.
at least just the cloth hood to put
okay.
over.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
the ears would be poking at the
Yeah.
cloth.
Yeah. But he immediately said his name.
Fair enough, okay.
So he's not really paying, much attention. He opens the door and revealing what's kind of looks like a lunchroom. There's a few tables and benches. If you give me 15, 20 minutes, I'll have a couple plates whipped up for you guys, and I'll wake up a Mora for you.
Who's that?
She's our elder.
Gotcha.
Sorry. All right. Out before it burns, please.
I'll get out.
Awkwardly shuffle out of the small space.
He quickly, grabs a spatula and starts, stirring up the meat and then shuffles back out of his kitchen, goes down the hall to where you saw the other torchlight. After a few minutes go by, and you guys are all just kind of awkwardly either waiting for another person to come talk to you guys or for some food. You hear a second set of footsteps shuffling down the hallway. and a woman walks into the doorway, kind of like rubbing her eyes. Ugh. You know, when Cedric said you guys were gonna be over here, I thought I'd still be able to get a few hours of sleep.
I'm sorry, ma'am. We
Emora.
didn't really. Mora.
Emora.
Emora. Okay. Sorry. The Emora. We sort of got an early start.
Well, it's good for some people. Well, welcome to Duvencrane. It's cold. And that's about it. This place kind of sucks.
A little hostile.
Not in comparison.
In comparison to what?
Adroxia.
Oh, we're just on the outskirts. That's right.
Yeah, Duvencrane is the other big city in the Elven territory.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. I thought this was like just the whole like elfin capital where everyone dies.
No. Nope.
Alright.
We are still under our own leader, and he has his own rules. And thank goodness.
Isn't that nice?
That's why we've been able to help all the refugees out of Odroxia.
Hey, speaking of some refugees, you haven't seen a dwarven family come through recently, have you?
I've seen a few dwarven families come through here.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a tall order.
And anybody
Is that a joke?
say
I didn't even mean that.
anybody say that they were headed to around the area of the Forgotten Mountains?
Mm,
We're looking for the Garsh family.
I'm sorry, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I figured.
I also haven't heard of the Forgotten Mountains.
From the time that Sue and us were at the Raccoon's general headquarters, the map, do we still have an idea of where she circled where the Forgotten Mountains were?
Yeah, you probably have like an estimated idea.
Guesstimate, yep. Guesstimate.
And what would I know about Forgotten Mountains?
Make a history check.
Don't make that face.
Nat 1, but that totals to a 6.
Oh, man.
Reveler, you're our guide.
It literally was like 19. Oh, just kidding. 1.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
So you kind of you pull out one of the maps that you have, and you're just like, I thought she said it was kind of like somewhere in this area, and you're like, as you put your finger down to like point, you like start to second guess yourself, and your circle just kind of like gets a little bigger and bigger.
Can I see if I remember correctly? I was there too in that meeting.
Yeah, sure. Or wait, hold on. Before you roll it,
Remember where Forgotten Mountains are.
do you want to roll, or you can give him advantage?
What's your plus to history?
Mine is +5.
I'll. You're not you when you're hungry. I'm gonna have just hand Revelor like a granola bar and see if that helps him with remembering. I'm giving you advantage. Go ahead and roll.
Oh, make another check. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay, that's much better. That's a 23.
There we go. Okay. Um, you,
We just made a Snickers commercial.
yeah,
Maybe I should have taken that extra hour of meditation or
yeah.
that full hours.
You gotta get those 8 hours, man. Elf or not.
So he like hands you like a bit of food, and he's like, I'm pretty sure he kind of like points a little, and you're like, oh right, yeah. Then your finger kind of zones in to a much smaller area, and Emora, she's like, well, I know that there's an old dwarven mining facility around that area, but I can't imagine that would be where refugees would be going to hide.
Well, if they're being actively hunted, that might be their only option.
Fair. Did I describe what Amora looked like, or did I just keep talking?
I'll be honest. I think you just kept talking.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Amora, when she walks in, she's wearing the, very typical helm, the dark blue and gold robe. She has dark skin with like black curly hair. She's a black woman. But so she after you circle in on your area on the map, she was like, well, yeah, there's an old mining camp there.
How much of a journey it is from where we're currently at?
Sorry, I'm trying to find it on my. There it is. Well, coincidentally, it is actually on the way to Adroxia. Gotta look at the zoomed out map here.
Dubin Crane. Oh, Drox, yeah, there it is. Okay. Oh, wow, we're about a couple days' journey.
Yeah. The trip to Adroxia from Duven Crane is 5-6 days, depending on weather.
Yeah.
Oh, and we don't have our horses.
I have my cheetah.
No horses.
Ah!
Can you ride on your cheetah?
From my description of it, it's pretty much I'm riding a tiger, so I can ride a tiger. I'm not big like Otar, but I'm lengthy.
You would think that you could probably, like, Chitu is probably strong enough to carry you, but, like, if you did it for very long, it was going to be very
Yeah,
tired.
no, I wouldn't do that.
Right,
Yeah,
it's not a pack animal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, maybe if you were a small creature, like a gnome or something, then
Oh,
totally.
we'd probably like ride out the wind.
Yeah. She's like, well, I mean, I'm sure your guide wouldn't mind assisting you with this, but it was to my understanding that you guys were headed to Adroxia.
It's along the way.
It is. As thrilled as I am for you guys to be willing to help some of these refugees, I can't help but to wonder if perhaps going straight to Adroxia might help more people.
Yes and no. The the family that we're looking for is a friend
Personal.
of ours' family. It's a personal.
Very well. I understand that.
But it's there's also a lot more families than just the ones we know. If we headed right to Adroxia, maybe it would help Sue's family as well. Just not in a direct, personal way.
If they're alive long enough for us to finish this.
The rightful king would be able to put a stop to the hunt.
But the news will have to travel fast enough while the hunt is still in progress.
The word travels quick in Adroxia.
I still don't also.
I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna start reading from my book again.
I also don't think it would be that simple. Just show up, hey, I'm in charge now. Like, there's going to be.
Stop killing everybody.
I mean, yeah, there's going to be debates, there's going to be rules of points of order and challenge to be made, and I don't know, politicians.
You're right.
Is it though? Because, well, I don't. What kind of kingdom is it? Is it just a pure monarchy? Is it like a? Is it a council with a king? What kind of government is? Do the elves have?
It is a
It sounds like
council with a king.
It is what?
Council with the king.
Okay.
And lucky for you, you guys have Sir Garmin on your side.
What about my garments?
Sir Garmin?
Sir Garmin.
Sir Garmin?
He is the leader of Duvencrane. He holds a seat on the Council of Adroxia.
That's good. We already have one man, and if it comes to some kind of vote, or I don't know, having one like him would be very helpful.
He's not dead.
Oh, I assure you, if someone attempted to hurt Sir Carmen, them and their ancestors would cease to exist.
Would you say the same thing about the old Elven King?
Ephemeral?
Yeah, look,
Is Sir Garmin back ephemeral?
Yeah.
What exactly happened to ephemeral?
It's kind of unclear. We know that there was an attempt on his life, and as quickly as they came, they left. And the vote shifted on the council.
Is he still alive?
I'm afraid I don't believe so.
So if they're able to get to the king, what makes them think they can't get to this Garmin?
Unfortunately, it's not my place to explain Sir Garmin's defenses. But
Do we know who? Do we know who was behind the attempt on Ephemeral's life?
We assume it was either some dwarves or humans. We don't quite know. Considering all the fighting as of lately, honestly, it doesn't make a lot of sense to us. If you want my honest opinion, I think someone paid them to take him out. Because as soon as Ephemeral was gone, they lost the leading vote to purify Adroxia of the other races.
It sounds as if killing Ephemeral seems that it would go against the interests of the humans and the elves. So unless it's a faction, then it would seem more likely that elves whose interests opposed with that of Garmin and Ephemeral would probably have much more of an interest in paying someone to make it look as though humans and elves humans and dwarves had tried to kill Ephemeral.
Right.
Well, then I guess our best course is to go talk to Sir Garnet.
That's going to be quite difficult. But know that he is on your side. And his apprentice is actually your guide to Adroxia. She will be here tomorrow. I know it's not ideal, but she's getting here as quickly as she could. But Duvencrane is still a free and safe city. You don't need to hide. You can go about as you were, if you would like to adventure our city at all.
Do you have rooms for us for the night?
Yeah. Yeah, we can put you up.
What kind of shopping is here in Dugan? Do you have a blacksmith and weapons makers? What do you
Oh, yeah.
have?
We have some of the greatest smiths Mittalon has to offer. Our entire city was built by dwarves.
Just by chance. One of the dwarves that built this city wasn't Dirk, was it?
Hockendirk?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'm gonna do some looking at shopping then.
I'm gonna stay in my room. Let me know how it goes.
I'll go with Krioran.
You haven't seen any people who don't enjoy being in sunlight, you know, any mysterious disappearances in town?
All of the mysterious disappearancing in this city have been intentional. And while I know their whereabouts, they can remain hidden. As far as sunlight, though, we don't get a lot of that here.
What's your vampire population look like?
I couldn't tell you. Why are we
You
concerned
seem-
about vampires?
They seem to be a growing concern across my town.
That is unfortunate.
You
This
have
doesn't seem to
no
surprise
idea.
you.
I've been around for a while.
And inside check on that. Now, let's see if they're like being facetious or ominous.
About she's been around for a while?
Yeah,
Sure.
she's human, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of.
I mean, she does look like an older black woman. Like,
No, don't get me anywhere.
I'm gonna do one too. It's not.
No,
gonna be
that's a
good.
5. Not gonna get me anywhere.
I got a 17.
she talks like she's seen some shit.
Okay.
Power to her.
Yeah.
This
Well,
apprentice of Garmin that you mentioned, the one that's supposed to be our guide, can you tell us more about her? Do you know who she is?
Yeah. Her name is Rinta. She's been Garmin's apprentice for she's been Garmin's apprentice for about 150 years. She's quirky, but trustworthy.
Would I recognize any of the names that we've been coming across so far? Carmen or... Sorry, what was her name again?
Rinta?
Rinta, Rinta. You wouldn't know Rinta, but you would recognize Sir Garmin. The name. I don't think you would have ever met them.
Okay.
Hey, also, you haven't heard of a... Well, I'd call him old, but he's not old. Of a elf traveling through here on his way, probably to Adroxia. Looks kind of like me.
You're
you know,
looking for your
he's-
father, Orion.
My hand is going to tighten on my... How did you know that?
Cedric gave me a relatively informed message about letting me know about you guys coming here today.
My hand's gonna loosen up just a little bit, but... Yes.
I know that Connor has a path set onto him from the helm. I know that Dandy talks way too much. Otar is either drunk or eating or both at all times. Creorn, you
Or
are...
fighting.
Creorn, you are looking for your father who's in Adroxia. And Revelor is the king, rightful king of Adroxia. When humans are this close into a race war, we have to stay informed on everything. Especially when humans show up and point their ears.
So I take it this place is okay for humans?
Yes, you are safe here.
Drop the seeming. No point keeping that up.
Yep. As you adventure through this city today, keep in mind that you are in Elven territory. You are safe here, but you may see some things that you don't see in Iorn. Some things fly around, sometimes the earth rattles. It's normal.
Well, let me know how that is, guys. I'm gonna take
You
my
said Orion was in Odrox, so you've seen him.
I have been told of his whereabouts from Sir Garmin. He's currently helping the prince, Galen.
With what?
Making sure, trying to get Adroxia back onto the right track.
Can you repeat the last sentence you said? I dropped connection for some reason.
Yeah. Orion is helping Prince Galen, trying to get Adroxia back on track.
Okay, thank you.
Did Galen lay claim to the throne?
Not willingly. Nobody's known where Revelor has been for the last 100 years.
Galen is the next in line of my family, so it seems that he, like me, he is hesitant to take up the family name, although for him for the proper reasons, I suppose.
Wait, where do you stand on this family tree? I thought you were next. But just passed it along.
That's what I mean. He's next in line after me. They don't know that I'm alive.
It's gonna be one heck of a family reunion.
When you say Prince Galen didn't lay claim to the throne willingly, who was giving him the most pressure?
It's not that he was forced onto it. Trying to sway the council one way or another is a difficult task, to say the least. Galen was not ready for this, especially after grieving for his father, looking frantically for his brother. He never wanted the throne. He just wasn't ready. When Orion caught word, he went to Adroxia. Because he was raised to take that throne.
Did you say Orion was raised to take the throne?
Are you asking Emora or Damien?
Sorry, yeah, I've granted Damien.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say maybe no family drama, but But I guess one benefit though is it would appear that at least with my brothers and sister, aside from maybe a well-deserved slap to the back of the head, there's not going to be much drama from them. It seems that my brother does not wish to be king, so we won't have to fight him very hard.
I would doubt it, no. As Ephemeral was, doing the best that he could, arguing with this council over every vote because of the council members, my guess is one decision didn't go the way someone wanted it to. Placed a hit on them and, swayed the vote of the council.
So, Ephemeral and Galen were in favor of ending the war. Is that correct?
They were mostly staying out of the war.
It sounds like instead of being against the war necessarily, they were mostly against the more violent portions of the war, the things that were causing the reason why we're here to save Sue's family, the killings and the slavery, things like that. It sounds
the
like
racial
my brother,
the the racial persecution.
Exactly. It sounds like they were against the more extreme aspects of the war, and someone did not like that, so they got rid of my father and swayed the vote.
Were there other council members who were also believing in that, or were they alone
In preventing the war?
in
Or preventing...
stopping the racial persecution? At least.
Potentially. I don't fully know about the rest of them. I've only...
How many?
I imagine there had to be a few because I imagine there's more than 4 people on the council. If
That was my next question: is how many seats are on the council?
would there be a historical number that like would be standard that I would know?
No, because that council wasn't put together until after you had left.
Okay.
Would I know anything since I sort of lived in the elf capital for a bit?
No.
No? Okay.
Because... yeah. There's 5, including Galen and Sir Garmin.
So it sounds like there's at least one other party that's either willing to side with Garmin and my father, or at least abstained and wanted to remain neutral, which would have deadlocked the entire thing, lead the decision to start racial persecution.
Exactly. There's a lot of that council that remains to be secret. Odroxia has centuries of knowledge and it's locked away for basically their higher ups to keep to themselves.
Does the name the Condemner mean anything to you?
Yes.
As Revelor says that, Connor straightens a little bit.
Who's the condemner?
The Condemner is a name that was given to the old queen of Grana before Iorn took it over. Grana was the first city to start atrocities against dwarves and humans.
It was ground zero.
Right. Iorn quickly invaded Grana and took it over, but they never did find her. She was the sole reason for the murdering, for the death. Rumor has it, after a few years of living in the wilderness, she found her way into Adroxia. Welcomed her with open arms and gave her a seat on the council.
So it would appear the Condemner has found her way back into power. suppose that lets us know who one of our enemies is.
Sounds like she is probably a viable candidate who might put the hit out.
Or at the very least, is party with the right kind of people who would want that same thing. It's all a very big web.
It's a big world.
I wouldn't put it past her.
I was going to ask Connor if you knew anything about her, because you definitely your general appearance changed when she was mentioned. Sounds like there's personal. I'm going to assume it has to do with your history that you told us.
Yeah, I was in Grana when she started the whole movement.
Was it more like a conspiracy rally, or was there actually grounds for it?
DM? I think more happened fast, conspiracy-esque, but
Basically, after the night that the war had started, the
oh right, the big destruction of things.
yeah, she quickly blamed the other races because they were not attacked by fey creatures.
Right.
So she thought it was a
Underground
she was being
terrorist thing.
undermined. Like she thought it was a coup,
Right.
kind of.
She presented it like a coup.
Yeah, it was when destruction came, bad things happened. I was little then, or at least littler. But I mean, there was somewhat grounds for it. Kind of. We know now, not really at all, but back then there was someone to blame.
Because my memory's bad. Was Revlar the only one there with the Dragonborn Bard who heard the story of the Dragon Titan? Yeah, okay, just only Revlar knows that.
By now, the human would have brought out a few plates of biscuits and gravy.
Happily munched down.
Yeah.
I take my plate because we just had breakfast not 30 minutes ago, and I put it down for Chitu.
Sure. Well.
Oh.
Oh. I started saying something and I thought I heard someone else. Well, I should probably get to my duties. You're welcome to hang out around the temple, or if you want to go explore a little bit, by all means, you're free to do as you choose.
Dandy is just sitting at the table while Chitu's eating. He's going to read through his book.
Are we inside the city, or are we a little ways away from it?
You're inside the city.
Okay. Well, me and Kryorn wanted to go hit up the town and look around, right?
Yep.
Possibly for secret things, because Hawk and Dirk built this town.
Did Hawkendirk own a house in this city, as far as you know?
Maybe once upon a time.
Do you know somebody that could possibly answer that as like a 100% guaranteed?
Not anyone that you'd be able to talk to. The only person who would have been around for the construction of Duvan Crane would have been Sir Garmin.
But there's no like written records of this place was owned by this person and then sold to this person.
Not really.
Nothing like that.
Not really. We let our citizens take care of themselves. We don't tax their going-ons. The city makes its money from our merchants.
The reason why we're asking is Hawkendirk was involved with wow, why am I suddenly blanking on the name of that city?
Mittalon?
Yeah.
Oh, the city.
Yeah. Altanova.
Altanova? Yeah.
And he owned a house there. And underneath that house was a tunnel that led to a summoning pit for a Dark Lord. And there was a bunch of other nasty that followed, or that all had access between Altanova and his house.
I see.
So we are trying to make sure that he didn't link something else into Duvan Crane. Because it was a whole lot of nastiness.
Oh, and he was a vampire.
Yeah. He was a vampire. And, well, you seem to know a lot about what we're doing. He's working for Marcus Mittalon,
Who's also
who's
a
still
vampire.
alive. And a vampire.
Interesting.
And as I'm saying this, I am studying her facial expression very, very. I'll even roll a perception check to I want to see if there's even a hint of a smile, of surprise. And I need to see her facial reaction as we're telling her.
Sure. It's an insight check.
Insight. Okay.
I'm like the reverse boy who cried wolf now. I'm the one who's not even being shocked when telling this information. I'm just calm. And there's vampires. I'm just gonna continue reading my book.
Insight 13 plus 2, so 15.
Her brow is, she's kind of squinting a little bit, and she's taking what you're saying and receiving it. There's no overly shocked expression, but this is information she didn't have before.
So, the old king who was supposedly dead 100 years ago, right? Was that Marcus Mittalon mysteriously died?
Well, then just before after the fact?
No, it was 75 years ago.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah, 70
And-
something.
And his son, and no bodies were found. And you are unsurprised by this. And I'm looking at her.
What do you want me to say?
That's
You know, I guess I'm just expecting a bit more, because everybody else who we've informed on it has at least...
as
They
Creon
didn't look like they were expecting to heal.
as Creon is talking to her, the way he's interrogating her, I'm like, yeah, I haven't checked. I'm gonna pull out my mirror and then get me and her in the view of the mirror. Is her reflection in the mirror?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Put the mirror away and get back to my book.
I mean, can I just point out a little bit of meta lore that
That what?
A minor point of meta lore that may be accurate to vampires here.
You can try.
The reason why vamp couldn't be seen in mirror was because mirrors back in times when they were still creating lore about it were made of silver.
Mm-hmm.
So, depending on what the
Oh.
mirror is made out of, that may or may not be an accurate test.
Yeah.
Like I said, complete meta lore, but
That's not even
I-
D&D lore. Like, that's...
Yeah.
that
That's
is
like
going back to
Transylvania
medieval
lore.
times.
Yeah.
And
So
so,
I guess
even
I did-
when when Danny is conducting these tests, I as TJ, I don't trust them completely, and because I'm not seeing him do most of these tests, I as Creorn am still not 100%. So
I base these tests on the novice books, the vampire guide that I've gotten from that local library. I have not delved too deep into it. I literally looked at
Fair
all
enough.
the basic guide to vampire. Get the garlic, get the cross, get the wooden stake, and have a mirror. That's the basis of it. And holy water, but I haven't got my hands on that yet.
fair enough. I'm just that's where my head's at that point is like, just because this might pass a test doesn't mean it's guaranteed to be an accurate test.
Yep.
And again, that doesn't also mean that that's accurate to the war on Mittalon.
Yeah. Are you... this is... Shit, I forgot her name. Emora. Yeah. So, as Emora. None of this surprises me. However, we are also within 2 days of what we call the Ash Forest. Are you familiar with that, Creorn? Anyone else?
I am not. Unless it was something that Orion told me about, I am not.
Would I be familiar with that?
Roll a history check.
Would it have been? Do you want me to roll history to see if it's something Orion would have told me about, stories growing up or anything?
Orion probably wouldn't have talked about it, as it's superstition.
Okay, that's fair.
Digital dice are terrible today. That's an 8.
Oh.
Oof.
You've heard of the Ash Forest, but you don't really know much about it. The Ash Forest is where the soul of fey creatures go to rest. However, they do not rest like most humans, elves, like to think. They spend the rest of eternity wandering this forest until their soul can be captured into a new form. This is all superstition, except we have hundreds of accounts of finding wisps and ghosts and just unexplained creatures through this forest, a fog that never leaves. So you tell me a human found a way to live forever? Sure. Why not? Especially one as smart as Mittalon was supposedly.
That's actually a good point. We haven't actually seen him be vampire. We've run into vampires, and so we just assumed.
I mean, he's making them, isn't he?
Is he?
Didn't Al tell us that he was a vampire?
I wasn't there for that. I was in the hallway or cave, whatever you want to call it.
Did Al tell us that explicitly? I don't. I feel like that's right.
I want to say that he did, but like yes, DM killing,
Yes.
squashing.
Okay.
Al, I have it in my notes. Marcus Mittalon is a vampire.
Okay.
When we were talking about the
I was
penance.
like, I'm pretty sure that was mentioned. I'll squash the superstition.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have to use the restroom.
Yep, go for it.
Okay, quick break then.
I was gonna say, like, even if he
He is a
even if he
vampire.
hadn't he told us, I'm pretty sure that like we've said it to him a couple times and he didn't tell us we were wrong.
To Metallic
Yes.
or to Alpha?
To Al, we said like
Okay.
being a vampire.
I was just like, who's singing? Oh, it's the guitar.
Yeah, Otar just pulls out a guitar.
Danny,
It's our hold music.
F sharp. Am
Nice.
I just teaching all of you?
We should totally do an all bard campaign. We
I
should
get my
just not.
cajon in my garage. Just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I'm
Everybody
going
has-
to be no help on the musical instrument.
Get out, be forgotten now, Jordan.
I'm surprised my mic's picking that up actually.
Yeah, it is.
It's picking it up pretty cleanly too.
Yeah.
I wonder if I turn. I'm using you guys as a test now. Thank you.
Go for it. Welcome to our music stream.
It's out of tune, but
It's so good.
yeah, it picks up. I turned off.
The noise
First-
gate.
Yeah.
Do we just turn into a trout, like a wandering band of bards?
We are ward. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I will leave you guys to wander our fine city. And you know where I'll be if you have any questions.
Well, Dandy's going to spend this time in the safe place, and he is going to read some of his book to learn what he can from the different lores of Bard legends.
Connor, Creor, sounds like you guys were going to go exploring. Do you need someone to help lead you around? I can show you all the best spots.
Many
Would
hands
you-
make light work.
Would you being out in the public be a problem?
Well, I mean, at the very least, I've made my hair not fire. I guess there's no fire. I'm trying to think of I have made my hair not crimson red. So, at the very least, that should provide me some cover. No one really knows exactly what I look like outside of the family trait of very red hair.
And
so-
it's been like 100 years, right?
Exactly. So the only people who might recognize me would be people who
In Duven Crane,
I'm very close with.
Yeah, so
I mean, you were in Duven Crane within the year.
True, but I mean, like I am in very different clothing
Yeah.
and things like that. So I mean, it's nobody would really necessarily recognize me unless they were going out of their way. And even then, a lot of them would not recognize me as the son of the king because I've not been making that known, even when I was here, a few years ago.
Otar, what would you like to do? Are you gonna come with us? You want to hang out here with Dan?
I'm just gonna hang out. I don't really have anything I need to do. Or kind of kind of got himself, set up in the last town. It's a simple creature.
Okay. So the three of you guys make your way out of the temple. Very similar construction to what it was in Altanova, and the closer you guys get to the door, it's pretty brisk out. You are no longer in the desert.
Oh yeah, we went to from desert to snow mountains.
No.
Yep. And
I'm gonna grab my cloak from my backpack
Oh,
and put it on myself.
sure. You open up the doors and walk outside, and you just kind of immediately take a look out, and the road that you guys are on is massive. You're used to, the small streets of Altanova where you can get, two cars side by side, but like it looks like you could fit their streets inside of their streets. The brick that all of the walls are made out of are like 2 foot by 2 foot stone. Definitely heavy built castle walls. Seeing if I can find a picture of. Here's just a random picture for maps. Yep. And as you guys walk out and you're looking up, you see the flags of Duvencrane being flown. It's a shield, half black, half red, with a golden dragon going through the center of it. And where there's not these flags of Duvencrane, there are kites being flown. And the kites are in the shape of a large red dragon.
Did Amora walk out with us?
No.
Okay. Then I'm gonna turn to Connor and Revelor and go, any idea what's up with the dragon? I'm not familiar.
Would we have any idea what's up with the red dragon?
You two don't.
I'm pretty sure Dubin Crane is the isn't it like the home of a great dragon? There's like a
So, Duvencrane is known as the Land of Dragons. In Draconic, Duvencrane literally means the Land of Dragons. Garmoth, an ancient red dragon, was known as their protector.
Until one day he uses fire a nation to attack.
It's very likely a representation of Garmoth, Dubin Crane's protector. Dubin Crane is, after all, the city of dragons.
Okay. He wasn't one of the Titans that attacked, was he? Do we know?
As far as we know, yeah, he's one of them. It's one of the reasons that the humans and dwarves think that the elves started a bunch of things. I think it was the humans, and I can't remember who exactly got attacked by the dragon.
Their own children, wasn't it? According to the bard.
That was that one dragon.
That was Revelor. You were there for that. The Dragonborn
Yeah.
told you about that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because I don't actually remember.
I don't have any notes of a dragon attacking any country.
So if
I
I
have
remember correctly,
Giants, Treants, and Fae. Constructs and Constructs and Fae.
So, okay, so if each continent is known for its own titan, Iorn is known for its constructs.
Okay.
Ephron is known for like the treants and all the Fae-like creatures. And then Decry are known for the dragons. So Ephron got attacked by constructs and dragons.
Okay.
Iorn got attacked by Fae and dragons. Decry got attacked by Fae and constructs.
Gotcha. Every area got attacked by the other two.
Yep.
Other two's thing.
Exactly.
Why there's now a lovely hate triangle of fighting.
yep.
Right.
Creating only enemies and no allies.
Hmm.
Okay.
Awfully convenient now that it's brought back up again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But as you guys are walking around, you see there's a lot of Dragonborn. A lot of Dragonborn citizens, as well as humans, dwarves, and an equal amount of elves to the Dragonborn. The city is large. The air is cold. And every once in a while, you hear in the sky
Like a wing flap.
Yep. And you can't see anything through the clouds.
Right. We're in Ephron. This is. Why are they celebrating a dragon? They got attacked by one. This is really
lot of
weird.
There are a lot of things about Dubencrane that are very different from the rest of Ephron. That's for sure. It's one of the reasons why it's one of my favorite cities here.
Huh.
So, what are you guys looking for?
Well, I do want to go shopping, see if I can find just any like unique types of. I looked around Altanova; they didn't really have.
Oh, unique type of arrows?
Yeah, just like I've got the net arrows, I have the flint arrows, I have the boxing glove arrows. Just I want to see if they have any cool kinds of arrows, but also I'm gonna be, as I'm shopping and wandering around, I'm gonna be asking like subtle questions of, hey, do you know of any houses that like people have talked about a weird tunnel underneath, or their basement seems to go on for a while? You know, what's the weird kind of stories of like?
Where's the Underground Railroad?
Oddly specific.
I want to know where the Underground Railroad is.
swear I'm not a cop.
Roll.
Said every cop ever.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Roll 3 separate, just charisma checks.
As in,
We're
what?
helping, so advantage.
What's that?
We're helping, so advantage.
Sorry, so a charisma check just for the three of us, one
Well,
each, or
I meant just for Creorn.
okay.
As he's asking these weird questions.
Okay. My first one is a 3. My second one is an 18. And my third one is a nat 1, but I have a +1, so it's a 2.
Oh my gosh.
I have a +3. I should be doing this. Oh no.
The second one. So as you're going around from market to market, or not market to market, but like from stand to stand, asking odd questions about houses with abnormally large basements and whatnot. There's a dwarven man who's working a smithing stall, and he's like, well, there's a treasury underneath the temple up on the top of the cliff, but that's Sir Garmin's. I mean, I don't know where all that would go, but it's probably the biggest basement, as you call it.
Okay. Hey, by the way, do you make arrows?
I don't spend a lot of time fletching, but go to a couple stalls over, find the cat. He can help you.
Okay. Super casually, and just walk off.
You walk up to the direction and kind of looking at the vendors, and you see working on a like crystal blue smithing table. You see a bright blued furred tabaxi, very similar to the one you fought in the pit.
Hey there, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I was wondering what kinds of arrows you have. Beyond just like the regular pointy ones. Do you make any kind of specialized arrows?
I definitely do. What?
Ooh.
What are you trying to? What are you trying to do?
Well, that's an excellent question, because I do many things. I collect many different kinds of arrows, but I also shoot many different kinds. So I'm just looking to expand my armory, if you will. You know?
Sure.
I currently have flint arrows, net arrows. Let's see. I have a arrow that is a blunt tip that can knock people prone pretty well. Let's see. I feel like I had another arrow. Walloping arrow, flint arrows. Net arrow. No, I guess that's it. Yeah.
Well, I have.
Yeah, I think I sent. Damien, did I send you the link of all of the different kinds of
Yeah,
arrows?
yeah, I'm kind of looking
Okay.
at some of them.
I was gonna say, I think I have that list somewhere. 100+ different arrow types.
I have. He pulls out just a single arrow that has a white arrowhead to it, and you see that the very tip of it has actually been hollowed out, and then there's a small slit at the back end of it. We call this a whistling arrow. When you fire it, it makes a terrible noise.
Ooh. Okay. But it still stabs people, right?
Yeah.
Ooh. That's tempting. What else?
This probably wouldn't work for more than one shot, as the porcelain isn't that strong. I have a pulls out another arrow that has a blue gem connecting the arrowhead to the stick. This is a ricochet arrow. Simply bounce it off of a wall to hit something behind it. It ignores full cover as it were half cover.
How many of those do you have?
I have 5 on hand.
How much is it for a ricochet?
I can sell you all 5 for 50 gold.
50 gold. Ooh, but they're recoverable, right?
More so than the whistlers.
Okay, but they're pretty durable. I could probably get a couple shots out of it.
Hopefully.
Ooh, that is tempting indeed. We said all 5 for 50, right?
I did.
Creon's just hitting it like Hawkeye here. Give me all the trick arrows. I want all of them.
And do you have a third type arrow? I'm looking for like a bundle type thing, if you will, like a all-in-one purchase.
I see. Well, I can't believe I almost forgot this. He pulls out another one, and the tip of the arrow is kind of like a deep red, and the stick is green, but instead of like a feather, it has leaves on it. This is one of my specialties. It is the rose thorn arrow. It deals a little extra piercing damage.
And how much does that sell for?
These would be selling for 10 gold each.
And are these recoverable, or do you think it would? Do you think it'd break after it's used?
The arrow is recoverable, but the enchantment is not. So on a hit, an extra 1d4 piercing damage from thorns, the target has to make a DC 15 strength or dex save or be ensnared for 1d4 rounds, and can attempt the check to get out of the ensnare every round, but takes an extra 1d4 damage for every round.
Okay. And how many rose thorns do you have?
I have 15 of these.
15. Okay.
We need to get you the equivalent of like a handy haversack, but for your arrows. It's just so you can like toolbox. I need this.
Fun fact: I have a handy hat.
Yep.
No, well, I know that. I mean, like
Which is
you
like
need,
a handy
the
haversack quiver.
Yeah.
Yep. I need the handy hammer. You know, I think. Let me get definitely the 5 ricochets. And I'll do 2 rose thorns or 3 rose thorns, 2 whistlers. Could you do all of it for 75?
I'll do all of it for 80.
For 80? Yeah, that sounds fair.
Perfect. Alright, so... Send these to you real quick.
Okay.
There you are. There's one.
Excuse me. Dogs are barking. I gotta go see what's up.
Should have screenshotted it while he was asking about him.
What kind of shop are we in again right now?
It's just kind of like a bazaar of a bunch of different stuff. But he's talking to Fletcher.
Right. Connor would just be like idly sort of browsing, just looking at stuff. Is there anything that catches his eye at all?
I mean, there's probably a lot of things that would catch his eye. There's a lot of, like, novelty items, like small figures of dragons, different colors. There's, like, a game set that has a bunch of, like, small wood-carved little creatures. There's weapons, armor, all looks pretty standard stuff that you would find in a market. Did I already send that one to him? Nope. Anything specific you're thinking about?
Sue said that she had no. She doesn't have a kid. It's like her parents and a brother that's here, right?
Yeah, it's her parents and like family friends.
Did she ever mention like a little kid? Like in her family, little brother, little sister or something, or no?
I don't think so. I don't think she meant. I mean, there's probably going to be children, because she said there was a couple families, but she never mentioned relation to any younger child.
Right. If there's like two child or children's dolls or little playthings, we'll buy like two of those.
Okay, sure. Um, there's like dragons. There's like big werewolves. There's looks like some humanoid creatures that are kind of like look like ghouls.
I would try to get something
There's like
less
owlbear.
monstrous. Are these all like just wooden figurines?
Yeah, they're essentially selling miniatures for a D&D set. Are you thinking something more plush?
Possibly, or at least more friendly looking.
Okay.
I was gonna say something not trauma-inducing.
Right. Yeah, you can find a stall that's making like dolls. And they would have like, the standard like teddy bears in like other colors. Trying to think of like a underground creature. Some fluffy looking badger moles.
I'll just
That
get
is
two,
also where my brain went.
I'll just get two like badger moles. Sure.
Okay.
Two plush badger moles.
Yeah. Go ahead and knock off 2 silver.
All right.
Big bad animals.
Another tick for the Avatar: The Last Airbender counter.
Yeah. Ding. Hey, we made it like a whole 3 hours before we made an avatar.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I attempted an Avatar reference with a dragon, but that didn't work out
I
as
was
much.
about to say,
Yeah,
there was
That's
there was
true.
an
Dragon
attempt. Everything changed when the fire dragon attacked, you know?
So, Dandy, I'm going to ask you a question, because I know you're just kind of quietly reading through your book.
Yes.
Where is your conch shell?
In my pocket.
In your pocket.
Yes, I kept it out of the bag of holding because apparently I'm supposed to listen to it.
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Is that your conch in your pocket, or are you just happy to see?
Perception, that's a 19.
Okay. You hear whispering coming from your pocket.
It's not the whisper.
Slowly close the book. Pull up the conch shell. Dandy handy with all your handy dandy needs. How may I help you?
That threw me off guard. You non-stopping, you hear a like twisted tongue, a language that you do not understand, It's like, I'm thinking of like Posseltongue from Harry Potter.
Okay.
You know, it's just like a heavy breathing whisper, just the.
We're sorry. We don't currently understand what you're saying. If you would like to speak Common, please speak it now. If you want to speak Elvish, I have learned that too. Otherwise, this is just creepy.
Zarka, Garmoth, Karanda.
Uh-huh. Sarka, Garangma?
Zarka, Karanda, Garmoth.
Sarka, Karan.
Karanda, Karanda.
And Garmoth.
Yep.
Darmok and Jalad, Tanagra.
Sorry, those three are not here at the time. Can I take a message?
It keeps chanting and repeats those names and a few others that you guys have already heard before.
I pull it away from my ear. I gotta ask her to elaborate more on this in the future. I'm gonna put it in my pocket and I'll leave it on the table.
Yeah.
I'll get back to my book, and I'm continuing reading a certain segment of it. It's still early morning, right?
That's probably noon.
Noon? Yeah, might as well. I'm currently reading over a section of the lore of the book,
Okay.
and I'm reading through it. To travel further than whispered winds, to reach farther than the skies can go, to speak to loved ones that you've never seen again, think of them hard and let your mind flow. This would be so much easier if I had someone like Sue to help me. And for those words, I'm going to accidentally, for the first time, cast Sending to Sue with that in mind.
Okay.
So those are the words that Sue heard.
Can you reply with sending?
Yes.
Yes.
25 words or less.
Okay.
Can you accidentally cast sending?
This is how I discover my spells, through the Book of Lore.
Oh, okay.
That's good flavor text.
And you haven't cast sending before, have you?
No, so this is
Oh.
my first time doing it by accident.
Okay.
You hear back in your mind, you hear Sue's voice. Or what you know Sue's voice to be because you've used messaging.
Messenger 4, yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck? Dandy?
You're just gonna freak out a little bit and then just look right and just... Sue?
How long does this work?
25 words or less, and the moment you get cut off, that's what you say.
Well,
And it's only one back and
It's only
forth.
one.
But also, has he ever heard Sue's voice before?
Yeah,
Yes,
She's
I've
always
used
done sign
message.
language.
I've used message to tell her telepathically, and then when she said back, that is the voice I hear.
Gotcha, okay.
So when I send sending, it's pretty much the same thing, but further distance. It takes me a second. I look back at the book. Then I cast it. Sue, this is Dandy. If this is working properly, I only can do this like one more time. But if this works out, you have 25 words or less to respond. 25 words.
Um, you hear a voice. I can hear you. Where are you? Is this a joke?
That's okay. Okay. I don't respond to Sue. I focus hard and long. And I cast Sending to get in touch with my sister.
Okay.
Quiet. It's Dandy. Don't ask questions. Have Mom change. You're being hunted. Hide the dagger. No one finds you except me. Those are my 25 words.
You hear your sister's voice creep into your head. I'm impressed it took you this long to learn Mother's tricks. We will remain hidden. Will you come back to us soon?
At this point, I feel a mental strain on my brain. I can't reply for the rest of the day. That was my last 3rd level spell. So. Not as skilled as you, sister. Oh, this is taking a lot. I'm just left there to contemplate.
Okay. The shell continues to chant for about the next hour, going down the list of names that I've given you guys before. Karanda, Zarka, Khatum, Nover, and then speaking in random words that...
I don't understand.
Yep. Incomprehensible. While the 3 of you guys are out shopping, after your deal with the Fletcher,
Mm-hmm.
you guys are caught off guard by another sound of the flapping wings in the air.
Does it sound like it's getting closer?
This time it does.
Am I still at the Fletcher's stall?
Yes. Probably just leave.
I'm gonna. Okay.
Just like...
So as I'm walking away and hear that sound, I'm gonna turn and be like, "Is that normal?
Yes.
What is that?"
Wyverns, dragons. Can't see through the clouds. And as the wings grow closer and closer, you look up to the edge of the city where the mountain reaches into the cloud top. And you start to see some of the clouds curl. And then you feel the ground shakes a bit. And Dandy and Otar, you guys would also feel this in the temple.
Is there earthquakes here? What the hell? Oh, Tard, you dropped something?
I was gonna yell no, but I can't get far away enough from my mic. It might be too loud.
I can't pay for anything. That's all we do on our end.
I don't want to yell. I'll have to test it next time before we start.
Well, I'm gonna look at Revelor and Connor. Do we do anything about that?
I mean, you guys were told already, this city's a little bit weird. The whole state of Ephron is going to be a little bit weird for you guys. Just try to roll with the magic. Things are going to be a little bit more arcane and silly.
Roll with the magic.
Roll with the magic.
There we go. We have today's episode name.
Oh, it's not going to be down with the sickness?
Oh,
wow.
God.
Something tells me we probably can't use that name.
I was gonna say that one might be protected.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know how to make that thumbnail.
Illness?
I think roll with the magic is pretty nice.
Yeah.
I had missed, what exactly did we see?
So you guys didn't actually see anything other than the bottom of the clouds curling as its wings. You never
Right,
saw its wings or its body.
Gotcha. I heard the cloud part. Right. Okay.
And then we felt the ground shake as something heavy landed on that same.
I think if there's something flying, it may be invisible. We've done something similar when moving around.
Yeah,
the
it's
dragon
just
does.
it's big enough that we can see it moving the clouds with its wings.
Yeah, which is a little scary, but that's that, I suppose. There's a dragon around. I guess we gotta accept that.
And as you guys are kind of discussing this, you're the only people that seem to care.
And, like, I don't really care either, but I'm mostly just trying to explain to the two of these, like, yeah, this is how it is here. Like,
Revelor, you're taking this awfully calm.
I lived here for a really long time.
Okay, but is that him?
Who, Garmoth?
Yeah.
No, this is just wyverns, man.
Okay.
Those are different.
Alright.
Dragons are different than wyverns, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're just. Excuse me.
So, do you guys head back to the temple or anything else that you guys would like to do?
I kind of wanted to see real quick if I could find like a small magical trinket of some kind. I was specifically thinking of. Remember, we were, and if we don't want to find it this session, that's cool. But I was telling you about how like I wanted to record memories, so that like other people could like play them back at a later time, kind of a thing. Do you remember that?
Not completely, no.
Okay, I think I was just talking about, like, basically, like, well, okay, then we should probably talk about it later.
Okay.
Then we don't have to do it. It's a setup for later. So.
Okay. So you guys, with Creorn's new arrows and a couple of dollies, you guys head back towards the temple. And as as you guys are nearing, you guys can see the temple in sight up the road a bit. You where'd you go? You see a elvish or half elvish woman running past you guys, holding a couple of books, and she has the long blondish platinum hair, which the blonde and platinum hair is very average for elves of this area. You've been seeing this a lot. And she's just like running, carrying her books as well as she can, running towards the temple, and she like bumps into a few people. Oh, I'm sorry, and just keeps going. And you guys meet her as you guys end up at the temple at about the same time. And either of you guys want to open the door for her or anything?
Yeah, Connor would.
I mean, yeah, Connor, it looks like you got it first, but yeah.
Yeah, step forward and
Yeah.
help her out.
You see her holding these books, and she's like getting ready to try to open the door, and you open the door for her, and she's, oh, thank you, and one of the books like tumbles out. Oh no, reaches
I'll
down.
reach down and grab it. She's carrying a whole thing. I'll grab it for her.
Make a dexterity check.
Oh no.
Not one, you knock her over.
Because she's bending.
4.
Oh, so you go to like try to reach the book, and it fumbles out of your fingers. At the same time, she reaches down to try to catch it herself, and the other 3 books fall out of her arms. She's like, oh dear. Grabs the rest of the books. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm very late. And she rushes back into the temple.
All right. Did she leave any books?
Nope, she grabbed them
Grab
all.
them all? Okay.
I didn't know we're in anime.
Yeah.
That's the kind of
Apparently we
information
are.
I have.
I was like half, especially with the 4, I was half expecting to like, oh yeah, she falls on the ground and then you all
Right.
fall on top.
No.
It'd be very
Connor-
awkward because normally it's done for love interests, and Connor is like,
I was gonna say,
fine.
Well,
Yeah.
we both rolled
Two.
low. I was just like, oh, if they're gonna kiss, you better
No.
not tell Danny.
Connor's gonna get a nosebleed.
He's- he was just helping because that's the thing you do.
She runs in and you guys follow her, and
Mhm.
nobody's giving a sermon or anything right now, but there are people in the stands, and she's just like loudly and like almost interruptedly, Imora, where are you? I'm sorry I'm late. And she
Boy.
heads downstairs.
Oh, she's
Gonna
gone.
lead over to Connor and be like, do you think that's Garmin's apprentice that we were told about?
Possibly.
Yeah. Rinta.
We were told that she was a little bit off.
That's probably her. Yeah.
So you guys follow her downstairs, and You hear her loudly talking and Amora responding down in her office. And you guys see Dandy hadn't really moved. He's just going through his book, making some writings. And she's like, I'm so sorry I'm late. I got here as quickly as I could. Some unintelligible tones. She's like, well, let's get you over and meet them. And Amora and Rinta walk back over to you guys. Oh, I'm glad you're all back. Connor? Connor, Revelor, Creorin, and that's Otar and Dandy inside. Everyone, this is Rinta, Sir Garmin's apprentice.
Nice to meet you, Rinta.
Same. I totally ran into you, didn't I? I'm so sorry.
No, I opened the door for you. I got in the way.
Oh, it's okay. So I'll be your guide to Adroxia. Well, we can leave whenever you're ready. I have some horses and a cart, ready to go.
It's what time right now? Like 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yeah, in the afternoon.
How far would it be till our first resting point?
I mean, whenever you guys want, I guess.
Well, it's cold outside. We wouldn't want to ride too far into the night. It's only going to get colder, I'm guessing.
It's going to be a 6-day ride either way, so we are going to be taking. It's going to be taking a while. We are going to be in the cold for a couple days.
I'm thinking it might be best if we leave in the morning, so we can make as much progress as we can while it's warm.
Very well. I guess I wasn't late after all.
Again, that's my thoughts. I don't make executive decisions. I just voice an opinion.
Who does make executive decisions?
Nobody. We decide as a group.
Oh. Okay.
Or at least that's my opinion. I don't make executive decisions.
Well,
She just she giggles at you.
well, we don't have any reason to stick around, do we?
Nope.
We saw the town a little bit.
We can head off.
Yeah.
All right.
Grab the horses
Welcome.
and get on the road, I guess.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Amora. I should be back in a couple of weeks. And, I believe Sir Garmin should be back in a day or two. He said he was only going to stay in Adroxia for another day or two, but with Revelor being here in town, I suppose he won't be here for long. I'm sure there's going to be a exciting council meeting once we get to Adroxia. Well, off we go, I suppose.
Yeah.
So the journey's ahead. Just take a swig.
Gather your snacks, Otar. You're gonna need them. Road trip.
He's got a couple of pocket biscuits.
Yeah, maybe I'm gonna be cooking for us for the next couple days, so get happy.
So, she takes you to the outskirts of the city walls, and as you get outside, like, these are a few feet thick castle outer walls. Like, there's places for people to walk up on the top of the wall, and just on the outside is a stable, and she's got a cart with 4 horses already attached to it and a small bag in the back. It's got a canopy over the top of it to keep stuff dry to keep stuff dry. And she takes the ropes of the horses and like, all right, well, I suppose off we go, huh?
I suppose.
Hop on the back of the horse, ready to go.
All right.
Do you have a cart or just horses?
We have 4 horses and a cart.
And 2 horses are pulling the cart? Or all 4 pulling
All
the
4
cart?
are pulling the cart.
Okay. in that
So
case,
like this
we
is
get
a
back in the
this is a
cart.
big wagon for like all of you guys to fit in.
Right. Normally he rides alongside or behind or in front, so it's weird being on the cart this time, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I
Ooh.
was thinking too. Is it's not used
Oh,
to.
Well,
maybe we can have Manny keep a lookout for us on top of the cart.
if
Yeah.
you're uncomfortable, Creorn, there's a spot here next to me.
who's
Yeah,
saying that? That the guide
Renta.
chick?
Yeah,
What's her name?
Renta.
Yeah, okay.
I like the idea of that.
Oh, she's bold. Say that as I still read my book.
Gonna give Creorn a good pat and push on the back, and then get in the back of the cart.
All right. Our first stop will be Marak Farm.
Man. Fantasy games where people farm rocks.
To be fair, you farm the certain amount of rock you can get agates.
What?
So.
Listen, man, I didn't come up with the name.
Don't
That's
worry.
okay.
In Britannia, there's literally a place called Farmville. Guess what they do there?
And for your information, they actually farm corn and barley.
Ooh, stick it to them.
And Ryan, if you're wondering why that sounds familiar, it's the reason you think.
Pick-a-bow.
All right. So on your guys' adventure, Rinta is basically like leading conversation with Creorn. Just talking about all the weird creatures and all this stuff that's out here.
I would definitely be asking, like, as she starts the talk, I would start asking questions about, like, not like what should I expect to fight, but just like what is there out here? Just just conversation or questions that would continue the conversation.
Yeah.
So she's not just like constantly feeling like she's rambling, but definitely like, what kind of creatures are out here? If we do have to travel, are they usually hostile? Just questions that would keep a conversation going pretty well.
Yeah, sure. And
I can talk sometimes.
yeah. She takes the time and it talks about a whole bunch of different stuff. There's these weird, like, horned lizards, stoneback crabs. She talks about rock skin boars and yaks, as well as where'd that creature go? She talks about cagtums, Kagtums, which is a tribe of wolf-like people that were known to serve Garmoth centuries ago.
And what were some of the other creatures you were talking about?
Like horned lizards, a yak, rock skin boars, stoneback crabs.
She's just talking out loud about these things, right?
Yeah.
Do y'all know the
But-
names of Sarka and Nada?
What was the second one you just tried to say?
Caranada?
Karanda.
Coranda.
I do know of those names. Karanda is a Fey queen. She's well, in plain terms, she's a harpy.
Okay.
And well, nobody likes to talk about Zarka, but he is a dark demon lord.
Oh,
He's
and Garnoth is the dragon, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Zarko
Yeah.
was the demon of the void, right?
I suppose that's one word for it.
Then Khatum, Nover. And I go through the list of names that I can remember.
Do you respond to the name Nobor?
She does. Nover is a dragon that used to live in the desert.
Neat. What is the
Like,
correlation within all these beings?
What is your what?
What is the correlation between all of them? What similarities do they have?
Their superstition and lore of Titans of Mittalon.
They're all Titans.
Yeah.
Cool. There's just a exhaustion face over Dandy. He's just exhausted.
It's said that these Titans ruled over Mittalon before civilization began.
What's her name? Where'd my notes go? The girl that's helping us, Ellen? No.
Ethel.
Ethel, thank you.
Mhm.
Did oh my god, did Ethel
Yeah.
properly describe what this conch really is, or she just told me that it just whispers every now and then?
She knows that it whispers and that it talks about the Titans.
Yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And but this time, because it only happened for like an hour, it stopped already, right? The whispering stopped.
Yeah, it's probably stopped by now.
I just look over, because Connor's in the back carriage with me. I just look over to Connor. The conch shell is whispering to me again.
Does it normally do that?
It's supposed to do that, according to Ethel. This time it just listed off a bunch of names spoken a language that I don't understand. And apparently now, each of the names, apparently all of those are the Titans of old. So, what do you make of that, holy man?
What did Ethel say the conch shell was again last session?
That it was a mean of communication for sirens or mermaids. So
Right.
it's communicating to someone somewhere
About
in
the
the
Titans of
world.
old.
The Titans are linked to the destructions, right? Like Khatum is a Titan, right? And the metal thing was like a reconstruction of him.
Some to that degree.
Am I getting that right, DM?
Yeah, Khatum was considered one of the built titans.
Yeah, my history's not so good. I just know a bunch of big things and a bunch of bad stuff.
Between talking with Ethel and lore that you guys have found, you would know that Mittalon and Nox wanted a titan that would protect humanity as a whole, not just humans. They wanted
People.
Yeah. They wanted a titan that would protect them if something happened with the other titans.
So they made Khatum, but then Khatum wrecked shop.
Yep.
Okay, well, who knows what that... Who knows who was whispering or why they said it, who they think they're talking to. That could mean literally nothing.
Yeah.
It
Or it
doesn't-
could be literally everything.
Or it could be everything, and this is way deeper than we thought.
I mean, I have a theory, but once again, my history is not so good.
That was my history. My history's alright. You can bounce ideas off me and I can tell you what's right and wrong.
I was about to say, my history's probably the best, but yeah.
So, we know that there's this crown thing that's supposed to control Khatum, right? Construct. We know that Mittalon and Hakaduki is flipping, messing with the crown and try to upgrade it, or attempting. They like to upgrade things, so they're trying to upgrade the crown. Working theory, the crown went fritz. Instead of controlling the Titan they intended to control, it accidentally set off all the Titans to go ballistic. Each Titan goes ballistic in its own way and shape and form. They failed the first time. Through however means, they become vampires, they become immortal. They're trying again. And doing so,
quick
they're
thing.
getting more Titans.
Quick thing.
Yo.
Titans going berserk. Was that also with Big Destruction thing 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Are
It
Phase
was
and
around the
Treant
start of the
and
war.
Dragon
Yep.
counted as Titans?
Yeah.
Okay. So we aren't getting two different stories of things that wrecked shop.
No.
So then, but a Titan sounds like a singular entity. So Fae, was it a big fairy that stomped out? Like how?
It was a
Fae
Titan
was a
Fae, wasn't
type of creature.
it? Yeah, but they were like
Like-
Titan-sized.
So
Renta would speak up at this point. She goes, Karanda, the Harpy Queen, is considered a fae.
Is she a devastating, powerfully Fae, or are we talking simply just
They call her the Stormbringer.
self-explanatory? These powerful deities of different size, because apparently size doesn't matter.
There's tree spirits in Ephron that reach up to hundreds of feet tall, and they just walk around.
They're called treants, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I've been reading books about them as well.
So is the Treant Titan one big tree that controls the Treants, or are all of them lumped into one thing called
Well-
the Treant Titan?
I pull out a book. Sue gave me this book. I've been reading it. It's great. This guy's journal talks about how he did meet a treant, the size bigger than the average flippin' tree. And as we look around, look at the trees, they're already pretty freaking big. Multiply that by a building. Plus.
Right, I'm just trying to. Connor and Ethan are trying to be like. So what actually freaking happened 20 years ago? Because we're being told Titans did it, which is like I'm imagining big cataclysmic thing, and then it's like, oh no, fairies wrecked it. It's like those conflict.
Some wrecked some.
Some wrecked some because each place has a different Titan attacking it.
Right, each one had one of each of the other things. So technically there was 2 dragons that attacked 2 different places, which would mean that there's 2 dragon titans, not one, if it happened at the same time.
And we did find that out because Nover and Garmoth
Yes.
are
Oh, we
both
found-
dragons.
Okay.
Garmoth was a dragon that lived in Ephraim. We just found out that Nover is a dragon that used to live in the desert.
Khatum is one
Right.
construction out of another that is being built currently.
Yes.
But then, so Khatum is a construct, and 2 places got hit with constructs. So was there 2 Khatums? Or was there one
was it
Khatum and
Khatum
another
attacking
thing?
2 different locations in his rampage? Collateral
Well,
damage.
It's kind of
Or-
big, and this all happened on the same day, right?
It did all happen
Or
on the same
was it-
day. Khatum only
or was
attacked
it
one
purely
area.
just...
Only one area, okay.
And the Khatum attacked Decry. There were smaller constructs and creatures, or not creatures, smaller constructs and golems that attacked an Ephron. Because of Khatum's size, he couldn't make it through the forests.
Right. So each big titan had like forces, basically.
And that's the thing too. If it was smaller constructs that attacked the other place, but they were in swarms, we're not just talking just multiple big beasties. We're just talking about multiple deities or beings that can cause cataclysm events, much like this harpy. Not essentially a titan form, but apparently can bring upon storms.
So then,
So
Okay.
here's my question. Alpha, who has the capability of building and communicating with other drones, forced to follow. And I look at Rita, or Renta.
Rinta.
Rita. Oh, that was an I sound.
It's Rinta. R-I-N-T-A.
Alright, Renta. FYI, Mittalon's a vampire. Alpha has to follow Mittalon's instructions. So what if before Alpha had the other drones and constructions attack another location via the undescribed thing that the other beings refuse to talk about besides being confused of why they even attacked in the first place? It all leads back to the crown that's supposed to be able to control the construct of Khatum. And the possibility of it being modified.
At this, through this conversation, Kriorn, you would notice that Rinta has grown quiet, and her facial expression has grown agitated. And she will speak up and is, have you maybe given a thought that it was just one creature that attacked everything?
Please enlighten us.
I'm not sure how one creature could attack 3 different spots on the continent on the same day, and been in many places at the same time. If it can, this is some godlike being we can't touch.
The 4 or 5 of you guys have been arguing about this for the last 2 hours.
Yes.
Now,
It's taken up
we're
about a
discussing-
month of our lives.
Now, if I were able to get inside of your mind and tell you to go punch the first person you see, and I did that to all of you guys, what would you do?
Well, it depends on who you want me to punch, but that's just a personal thing for me. Otar probably wouldn't mind.
My point is, none of these creatures are unified. There is something larger at play. And these titans should not be punished for what happened.
Ethel said something similar. She said the Titans were in their right.
She did, didn't she?
My main thing is that this conch shell is now once again naming pretty much all the Titans again.
So a siren or a mermaid is just whispering the names of the Titans. No context, just listing names.
As far as I can tell, because I don't speak mermaid or siren.
It could be someone from one of the druid tribes in the sea. It could be something from the water realms.
Where'd we get that conch shell again? Did Ethel just give it to us?
Yeah.
No, we found it.
No,
Or,
I think
wait,
give
no.
it to you.
David quickly to Dandy and said, "Take this, you'll need it."
Okay. Yeah, she did hand it to us.
As much as the crown being modified somehow messing with the Titans is possible.
My
don't
biggest
know a
fear is
whole lot.
because they're being named again. I'm
Well-
wondering if we're gonna get Titan War 2.
Well, I don't know a lot about magic, but like Khatum was just a construct. He
What-
wasn't. He was just a big drone, essentially, right? Just really big. That didn't make him like these beings that created or existed before civilization. He was just a big metal thing that followed commands. I don't see why this crown that can simply command a thing to move and do something would be able to affect these creatures. They're on a whole different level other than size.
What exactly
Right.
does the conch shell say?
I'll take it out and say good luck, and I toss it to her.
Takes it and she kind of holds it up to her ear. Is it? I just hear like waves.
Who keeps saying that? I don't hear that.
Well, do you hear it right now?
No, it's not. It has a mind of its own. I don't know how it works. I was literally reading the book when it just started going off in my pocket.
Well, she reaches back to hand it back to you. I mean, the next time it starts talking, I suppose, let me know. Maybe I can understand it.
Yeah, let's give it a whirl.
Do you speak a lot of languages?
A couple. I've been around for a while.
Elves in their ears.
I'm not that old.
I thought you were around for 100 years.
I'm only 172.
Human.
By equivalent, she's like 30.
Yes, I know, but to a human, you are 172.
I'm over here doing like, what's the elven to human
Ratio.
conversion rate over
Yeah.
here?
Dog years and human years. What is the conversion again? What's
Yeah,
the-
it's like it's 14 years
Let's
to a
see.
dog is.
It's like 1 to 7 for dogs, so elves gotta be way up there.
Yeah.
It's like 1 to 70. You're barely in your teens while I'm.
Dead.
Oh
Alright.
man.
Then again, you would have died like, I don't know, a couple months ago if we didn't save you at that manor.
Yes, and henceforth I will not be taking the lead in any fights.
Well, this is going to be a good spot for us to end today's session. You guys have finally made it into Ephron through Duvan Crane and met your tour guide, Rinta, the apprentice.
Once we cross the border, if we have already, ring. Just
Oh, okay, sure.
humans look like elves.
Yeah. Yeah. The next session we'll get to Maroc Farm and see how far we get after that. Are we going to Duvencrane or not Duvencrane? Are we going to Adroxia or are we going to where you guys think the Forgotten Mountain was?
Looking on the map, unless you moved, like where Maroc Farm is, we're going away from the Forgotten Mountains and Adroxia.
I did move it.
Okay. So did you?
I'm moving it to make more sense.
Okay. I was just kind of confused. I was like, wait. Well, I mean, we have to go through the Forgotten Mountains to get to Adroxia, right?
Yeah, that's one way.
It makes sense to go through there, and then if Renta is not sticking around in Adroxia, maybe she can take Sue's family back to Dubin.
That would be helpful.
Okay.
So, and then we can send them with like a note for Cedric to be able to contact Sue once they make it safe to Altanova.
Yeah. Or your bard with sending can also do it.
Right. Because our bard with sending can contact, or I mean, also we have a paladin who can talk to his temple, and maybe the temples can communicate back and forth and pass messages.
Yeah, that is your better option, because as of now, none of you know I can cast Sending.
Right.
Yeah. So.
But all right. Hopefully we're all feeling better. I know it's a little bit too early to know for sure, but Christmas Eve. Well, actually, hold on. Before we get into that, let's get the stream ended. I appreciate everyone for checking out our stream, and we got the new follow. Super cool. We will catch you guys next time and see you around the table.
Hit the like and subscribe button and the bell notification.
Yep, all of that.
Yeah.